You can see that this ring land, is completely dicked in the asshole. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wrench Avengers. Today, I find a skid mark in the Panty Dropper's engine, but spoiler alert, I get it fixed. So as you can see, we got the block torn apart. Got it cleaned up a little bit. Obviously, stuff's pretty dirty. Gonna finish taking it the rest of the way apart. Gonna get the pistons out and marked, and then get the crankshaft out. That'll take a little bit of work, but get it out, get the block out, and get it ready to hone. I'm going to get a test block to hone first, just to make sure we do it right, and then we'll go ahead and hone this one out. And once it's all honed, we're going to get them the rest of the way cleaned up. I've actually already had mains off once because I was making sure that the rods and everything was good, and all the bearings are in great shape. The bearings are all in great shape, so I'm happy with it. We're going to take it all apart and then drain oil all over the floor. We're going to take it apart and get it ready to clean up and stuff. And again, these have already been off once.
"2,000 years later."
Well, folks, we have hit a snag. Not sure if you can see this piston or not. Let's see if we can fix You can see that this ring land, is completely dicked in the asshole. So I gotta inspect my cylinder, make sure that the cylinder's okay, and that piston is gonna have to get replaced. I'm a little bummed about that. Didn't see that coming. I may have an extra piston laying around though, so we might be alright. We'll get the others pulled, and then we'll flip it over and inspect everything and see where we're at. Okay, so I'm going to try to get you guys to see. I don't have much of a flashlight here, but if I can get it, it'll be adjusted well. You can see those scores in the side in that cylinder wall, whereas in this one, they look just nice and fresh. There's all these scores. I don't know if that's going to hone out, which is a bit upsetting. We may just do it. I mean, I can get my fingernail on them a little bit, but we might just hone it and see what happens. Replace the piston and hope for the best. Here is my test block. It is a D16Y8. D15s and D16s have the same cylinder bore size, so my bubble hone should work just fine. I went ahead and did one just to play with it a little bit because I ain't never done this before. I've never honed a block before. This block actually is marked as not any good. It's okay. It's got some pitting in one of the cylinders, so it needs bored. But other than that, it's all good. So I'm gonna practice with this one, see if I can get cross-hatching right. Even though there is still plenty of cross-hatching left. We may have tried to hone it once before. And then if, if I can't get that to work, then we'll go from there. But I'm just gonna start by seeing if I can hone this well, and then if I can, I'll move on to the D15. So the instructions say to use 10W30 weight oil for lubricant. I have 5W30. Hopefully that'll be good enough. Also says to use 60 to 120 strokes per minute, depending on RPM. I don't know what my RPM is. It says to use 500 to 1200 RPMs. Sure, that looks right. Not sure if we're giving it too much there or enough. I think I'm happy enough with just the test block. Obviously, still needs board, so it's no big deal. Okay, so I'm gonna start this one off. I'm gonna do my bad cylinder first, just to see. And I'm just gonna start with like, I don't know, 15 strokes through it, and we'll see what that does for us. I said 15 strokes, I meant 15 seconds. That was roughly 15 seconds. Crosshatch looks good. It's actually cleaning that up pretty good. I think if we give this the full treatment, I mean, that wore a lot of it down. I'll give it another 15 seconds. Give it another 15 seconds and we'll see what it's like after that. Might have been a little bit on the long side, but let's see what he did. So the scores in the cylinder did not hone out, but luckily I had an extra D15 B8 block laying around that had actually come from Aaron's car originally. I just took it apart. It had some oiling issues initially, but I think if I just clean out the block well enough and don't use the oil pump out of it, it should be alright. So I took the B8 block apart and threw the crankshaft in the garbage and put the B2 crankshaft in because the B2 crank is in pristine shape. So I went ahead and threw the B8 block up on a stand so I could start honing out the cylinder bores in order to get ready for what the fuck is this lighting? I guess I forgot to lock the aperture whenever I was filming this. So now that I got the cylinders honed out, I'm going to move on to getting the bearings in. I'm using King main bearings and rod bearings. So I throw down some plastic gauge and I torque down the girdle. Everything's spec'd out just fine here. I did go ahead and plastic gauge the rod bearings as well, and they're all within spec also after swapping some with the B8. So as the day turned into night, I gapped the piston rings and got the pistons into the block. And that's pretty much where I left it for the weekend. Didn't really have anything else I could get done, so next week I'm going to be getting the cylinder head going and hopefully mount it onto the block, and then we will continue from there. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you disliked the video, give it a thumbs down. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you think about using the B8 block versus the B2 block. What are your thoughts on using a D15 at all? Let me know what you think. Check out my Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, guys.